Is it
To preserve evidence.
Low water, just $2.29 each. Save a lot. Savings made easy.
Truman Talks Law on Great Day Live is sponsored by the Karl Truman Law Office.
Since you got your first driver's license, you've been told to call your insurance company first thing if you're involved in an accident.
I remember hearing that. Maybe there's someone else you need to call too, and not just your dad to tell him, I wrecked the car, Dad. Attorney Karl Truman, call on the Colonel, says calling an attorney can help you make sure you are taken care of. Karl, it's good to see you again.
Morning.
And when we say call on the Colonel, we should remind people of your service too. Greatly appreciate your military service.
Thank you.
All right. That is essentially the lesson I got when I was 16. You call the insurance company, or you better call me first, boy.
Well, of course, you do have to report it to your own insurance company, and that's definitely the thing to do. And certainly, I don't want to interfere with first responders, making sure everybody's taken care of and everything. But I'm talking about after the dust is settled,
right,
when you're getting, really feeling the pain and knowing what your situation is. I have so many situations where people call me months later, and what they tell me is, well, I just thought the insurance company would take care of me. I just thought the insurance company would do the right thing and be fair with me. And that really doesn't happen. So the reason is, and so the question is, why is it important to call me right away after, whether it's automobile collision or premises type situation or any type of situation? And the reason is because I can get out to the scene and preserve evidence right away. I've had so many situations where I was able to get out and document skid marks that maybe the police didn't look at and be able to document what happened. So if I can't preserve this evidence and months has happened, people forget, witnesses forget. So it makes it very much more difficult to go back and try to reconstruct things, what happened, if I can't get there and preserve the evidence.
And no insult, but an insurance company obviously is a business, and they have to protect themselves against, paying out they want to pay out as little as they can. I mean, that's just a preservation of their own business, of course.
Well, that's the key, is that they're there to protect them,
right,
and their profits, and they're paying out claims. But so if you're the injured person, to rely on them to look out for you or to be fair with you really isn't putting your trust in the right place.
And it's not just automobile accidents. You've had clients, maybe, did you have one that fell down some stairs at her apartment or her residence, and you were able to help her get some money for that?
I've had situations where, someone was in an apartment building or office building, and a step broke or a railing comes off and they fall and get seriously hurt. Well, if I get out there to document that and photograph it and document what happened, because someone's going to be out there fixing that, and then they're going to say, well, no, I don't know anything about it. So, but if we can get out there and document exactly what happened, and sometimes I have to have, whether it's an architect or, I've got a case right now involving some steps where I've got to get an engineer to be able to look at the steps and say, well, this is what caused the fall. I've had situations where, I was able to get out to an accident scene within days, and I had an accident reconstruction engineer who was able to, today the cars have black boxes where it'll record a lot of information or look at the damage to the vehicles, and if you wait months and months, all that's gone.
And sometimes, like in home repair, home reconstruction, people build their own steps or whatever, and there are codes that are not followed sometimes, and people can get hurt because of that.
Well, and that's true. I see that more in apartment buildings and steps that don't comply with code. And that's one of the situations I've got going right now, where I have an engineer that's looking at some steps to be able to tell me that, no, they are not compliant with code regulations.
Bottom line here is, if you're involved in some sort of situation, it's smart to check with an attorney just to make sure you have your bases covered, because again, an insurance company does not have your interest at heart.
Well, and that's why, it's good to get me involved right away, because, I can tell someone, is this a situation where we really need to examine it more closely? Because, again, that evidence disappears quickly, and if I can't get it preserved, the insurance company isn't going to do it for you.
All right. Thanks so much, Karl. Appreciate it. You can reach Karl Truman at the Truman Law Office, 502-222-2222.
You can also find him online at trumanlaw.com.
Center, your choice for customer.
Good job on
Appreciate
that.
that very much.
Once you